Hello, welcome to JS Testing Academy. Welcome to the workshop of day one. We have a 5 day workshop where in first day we are going to cover hybrid BDD Cucumber Framework. In the day two, we are going to cover Serenity Framework. In the day three, we are going to cover advanced API Postman. And the day four, we are going to cover Karate with Rest Assured Framework. And if possible, on the day five, we'll see Jenkins, GitHub integration, and the APM framework overview. So this is the plan for the next 5 days. Let's start with the day one. Right. My name is Joshi. I am from JS Testing Academy. I have 16 plus years of experience. Currently we are residing in Toripakam near to BSR Mall. So now let's start the session. Today the agenda is hybrid BDD Cucumber Framework. We are going to see browser automation, that is Selenium. So we are going to create a framework from the scratch. So we are going to integrate hybrid BDD. Hybrid is any two framework is called as an hybrid. We are going to integrate three frameworks here. First one is test engine. Next one is data driven framework, and third one is BDD, that is behavioral driven framework, with the combination of Maven build tool and the page object model design pattern and the extend report integration. So this is a plan for the day. Okay. So hybrid means any two combinations called as a hybrid framework. Let's kick start. So we are going to take Apollo application as our functionality which we are going to automate. Let's take Apollo Hospitals, Chennai. Okay, so this functionality we are going to automate. So what is the plan is, we are going to scroll down to book appointment, and the windows is going to handle. We are going to need to handle the windows. Then we are going to click book appointment with Apollo doctors. Then we have to select a city, Chennai, enter a location, select a date, and then select a specialty. Then we have to click the submit button and see it's going to the next page or not, and then we are going to close the browser. This is a functionality which we are going to automate. Many people are interested in healthcare domain. That's why I thought of taking any medical related project and automating, so that it might be a functionality might be helpful to someone. Okay, so let's kickstart the project or the framework. So let's go to Eclipse. I'll go to File. Okay, let's create a Maven project. Maven is a build tool. The purpose of Maven is to create the structure of the project and to add dependencies in the form.xml. So the purpose of form.xml is to download the jars, corresponding jars from the repository. Okay, for example, there are a lot of jars we need: Selenium jar, Apache Py jar, test engine jar, Cucumber jar. We need lot of jars that needs to be downloaded from the repository. So we go for Maven. It creates a beautiful structure: SRC main Java, SRC main resources, SRC test Java, SRC test resources. It creates a beautiful structure. Okay, so that is why we go for a Maven. There is other build tools like Graded, but we opt for Maven as of now in our learning. Okay, so let's go to create a Maven project. I click next, and I'll create a simple project checkbox. I'll click it, then I'll click next, then I'll give a group ID JS. JS is our institute, or we have two companies. One is Change System Automation, is our project, and next one is a JS Testing Academy. It's Valley Institute. So Change System Automation is in Techie Park, Karapakam, and JS Testing Academy is near the BSR Mall. Okay, so we have an institute and we have a project-based company also. It's a very we are in the initial stage. It's 4 years since we have started. We are developing, and we need your support in growing together. Okay, so I create a group ID and artifact ID, JS Testing Hybrid BDD Cucumber. It's a project name, and I give an group ID and the artifact ID same. Then I click finish here. Okay, so now I create a project. Okay, now I want to add dependencies of the project. Okay, now what we do is first we'll create the structure, then we'll add the dependencies. So if you see, the beautiful structure has been created. Let's go to SRC main Java, and we'll create a package. Since we are going to browser automation, I give browser. So in this framework, we can integrate 3 or 4 different frameworks like REST Assured framework, APM framework, browser automation. So all these things we have created an integrated framework in the past. Actually, multiple frameworks in a single framework we have done. So here we give browser base class, and the class name is library underscore class. Okay, the library class will have the basic launch code, launching with different browsers, Chrome, Firefox, IE, different browsers, and headless browsers also. If you want to run with a headless browser, we can add that in the library class. We use switch case statement to launch with the different browsers. So browser base class and library class, and click finish. Next one is right. I'll add another package, com application reusable. So basically, we can have different packages, and this reusable class will have all the reusable functionalities of an application like alert handling, Windows handling, frame handling, screenshots, drop down, right web table, right click method, send keys method. We have different reusable functions in the reusable class. Okay. Then I'll create a reusable function for the application. Then I'll add the class name. Then I'm going to finish it now. Okay. Next one, I'll create a utility class. Utility, we can have a lot of utilities like test engine, listeners. We can have Excel utility. Have right. Then you have Java utilities. You have a lot of utilities classes which we need to use in the data utility. Right. What are things which you are going to use in the framework? We'll add here. As of now, I'm going to add com.utility. Okay. Then I'll add Excel utility here. As I told, it's going to be hybrid BDD framework where we are going to add page and object model, where we are going to add test engine, and there we going to add BDD. Okay, so this Excel utility, if you have large sets of data, we'll keep that in Excel sheet that we can use it. That I'm using it here. Let's click finish. Next, I'm going for page object model. Okay, each page one class, right? I'm going to add this page object model in the SAS text Java. This is browser. I'm going to add pages here. Since we are going to planning for book appointment page, I give book appointment underscore page. So we are going to book an appointment and see automate the book an appointment functionality in the Apollo Hospital application underscore page. Okay. And since we are going from BDD, I'll add step definitions also here. So TestNG is used for as an execution framework, where right we have a lot of annotations there before method, before test, before class, right before shoot. We have different annotations. We can set priorities. We can have sequence execution, parallel execution, okay, grouping. Right. So HTML report generation, data provider. We have a lot of uses of TestNG. Then BD, we have go for a behavior-driven framework. Right, non-technical people can understand by reading the feature file that can be converted to an automation step. So it makes the work very easy to understand what is written in the code. That's why you go for an BD framework here. Okay. Now let's go to step definitions and generate browser underscore step definition. Okay. Book appointment steps underscore steps. Okay. So this is the structure of the framework. Then we are going to add the runner class. Okay, now let's start again. We'll create a random class for this one. Okay, we'll create browser underscore. Why I give browser means this right application can be used for API, and this can be used for a right mobile automation also. That's why I'm keeping the package name as browser underscore. Now, right, I will give random class test runner. Okay, now I'll click finish. We'll jump to SRC test resources. Okay, in SRC test resources, we'll create some folders. Okay, we'll create some folders. Right, first folder will be features. Okay, second folder will be right reports, and third folder will be config.property. Config.property. Okay, and then we'll add test data if it is needed. Screenshots, right? We'll add folder screenshots. Okay, So we'll make it simple, right? If possible, we can enhance it later, right after the workshop. Right, if you have any need, if you have any requirement, we can enhance the framework and give to you based on the requirement. Okay, let's make it very simple so that it's commonly understandable to everyone. Okay, I think there's a mixed crowd. There'll be freshers, there'll be leads, there'll be senior persons will be there. So let's understand each other. Let's see a very common perspective. And if you have any requirement, we'll work it together. So now let's go and create the code in the library class. Okay. So now what we'll do is normally right in the config.property will create one file config.property. Now we'll give browser what browser we want to launch. We'll go with the very basic one, Chrome. Then we'll give URL, and we can keep the like different URLs in the application. So right, we'll keep it very simple and basic here. Okay. Now we'll have browser and URL. We'll have. So now what we do is we'll go to the right library class. Okay. Then we'll create a one method. Okay. Public void right browser launch. Yeah, I'm just renaming the file. Next one is right browser launch, right? The first thing what we need to do is since we keep the browser name and the URL in the config property file, we need to read that particular browser and the URL from the config property file. Okay. For that we use right file input stream, right the Java one here. Okay. First we'll locate the file. We'll create an object, right? F equal to new file. Okay. And next one is right. And we'll give the path of the file. We'll go and take from copy quality file name. We'll remove the project name here. Okay. Now we'll give the path of the file name. We'll give file input stream. Okay, so we need a file input stream, right class, right? Right, for this is for reading the content from the config.property file. Okay, so in Java we'll have file input stream and output stream. File input stream it contains right, it obtains input bytes from a file in a file system. Okay, so right, what happens? It means for reading the streams of a raw bytes, such as like we have some data or something characteristics. The file for reading that we go for file input stream. It is a class. Okay, file input stream object equal to new keyword and the constructor here. Okay, file input stream, and I give the path of the file where I store the file. Okay, so F5 give here. Next one is right. I want to right have a property class here. Okay, for that I'll keep it globally. Okay, I need to create to have a property class here for setting the properties. Right, I want to set and get it right. For that I need a property class here. For that a property list can contain another property list. Right, it is used for searching a property with a key value. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create a public properties, keep it globally, properties and the object. Okay, then I give the create an object here equal to new property. Okay, and then I'll give the semicolon here. Okay. Now what I'll do is right, I'll give object name dot load and the project. So what happens is right, this reads the right the key from the config dot property and stores in input. From that we can read and launch the browser. Okay. Now what we do is we'll add switch case here, switch dot object dot get property browser. It goes to config dot property, searches for browser, and what value is there? That value is going to be considered as a case, and that case is going to launch a particular URL. Okay. Now I'll give a case Chrome here, and I'll write the launch Chrome right browser Chrome. Okay. So I'll use WebDriver Manager here. First, sorry. We forgot to add the dependencies in the pom.xml. First, we'll go to pom.xml. Okay. First, we'll add WebDriver Manager dependency. Okay. Now, let's add the WebDriver Manager dependency in the pom.xml. First, we should add the dependency stack there. Okay, so WebDriver Manager is an abstract class, right? The purpose of WebDriver Manager is it is used to download the latest drivers from the browser. For example, right, we have a Chrome browser of some version, like for example, 1110, right? 110 is there. Suppose it's going to be updated to 1111, the WebDriver manager can easily download the latest drivers from the repository. That is the purpose of adding the WebDriver manager into the system. Okay, so we add these dependencies and then we'll go and add the Selenium Java dependency here. We'll go Selenium Java, Maven Selenium Java, and I'll download the latest one here, 4.18.1. Okay, I'll add this right 4.18.1 dependency. I'll add it. Then what I'll do is I'll add right test engine dependencies here. The latest one I'll add it. I'll add the Cucumber dependencies here. Okay, so I'll add all these right dependencies here. Now what I'll do is I'll update the project. Okay, I'll update the Maven project. Then what I'll do is I'll restart the Eclipse. Uh, from there you did understand. What I did is basically right. I added all the dependencies. These dependencies are the supporting libraries for the Selenium. For example, I want to use TestNG framework, right? I need the supporting classes and interfaces for right handling the TestNG. I need to automate a web-based application. I need the supporting libraries and classes and interfaces for handling a drop down or taking a screenshot, right? I need the supporting libraries, right? I need the classes and interfaces for using all these methods, right? For that, we need to add the dependencies in our form.xml. That form.xml goes and downloads the corresponding classes and interfaces from the corresponding repositories. That I'm going to update that in the Maven project and restart the Eclipse. Do you have any questions? Okay, that's great to hear. Right, you can ask questions. Right, I want this to be an interactive one. Right, not the entire 4 hours I'm speaking. Right, right. I want like maybe some couple of questions here and there. I also want to learn from you. I think you're all experts here. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll go to library class again. Okay, and then I'll add the WebDriver manager interface here. WebDriver manager. All right, abstract class dot home driver. Okay, this line of codes downloads the drivers from the corresponding repository. Okay, so now let's go and create a global WebDriver so that it can be used in across all methods. Okay, public right, then WebDriver is an interface, driver is an object, right, and Chrome driver is a class, right? WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver. Okay. Now I want to get the URL also. Okay. Driver dot get right object dot get property. See, this browser and URL is getting from the config dot property, guys. It's getting from the config dot property. Okay. So now let's go here driver dot get property. Okay. Then the URL. Okay. Now let's go and enter driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Okay, now I'm using another case here. Okay, suppose I want to test with Chrome browser. Okay, now Firefox. Okay, now we'll use the same line of code. In the place of Chrome driver, we give Firefox driver. Now next driver equal to new Firefox driver. Okay, now let's go driver dot get property and the URL. Now let's add a headless browser here. I will add the switch case headless Chrome. Okay. Now what I'll do is right. I'll add this one right. Chrome options equal to new Chrome options. Okay. And now options dot add arguments. Add arguments headless. Run in headless mode. Okay. Headless right. Then headless. We'll put headless. That's it. So now it's going to run this case in the headless mode. Okay. Next, what you should do is right driver equal to new driver options. Driver equal to new Chrome driver options. Okay, we are calling that right object which we created there. Okay, so now what we do is driver equal to new Chrome driver options we get. Next one is we give driver dot get. Okay, then we call the property prop dot get property and the URL. Okay, so now the base class is set. Do you have any questions to ask, guys, or we move forward? Okay, now let's go to the reusable functions. Okay, as I told you, we are going to automate this book appointment. We are going to add the book appointment. For that, we need to add the reusable functions. Okay, let's go to the functionality again. Okay, so we want to go to this screen. Okay, we have to scroll down to the screen. For that, we need to use the JavaScript executor. Okay, then we need to click the book appointment. Then what we need to do is we need to click the book an appointment with Apollo doctors. We have to click it. Then what we do is we have to enter all these text and click the submit button. Okay, so this is the challenge we have. This is what we need to automate. Okay, so for that, what are the right reusable methods we need? Again, we'll go to the application. Okay, first we'll go and click this book appointment. Right, that's first one. Dot click, right, submit button. Right click method we should give. Then what we do is again a click method we are giving. Then what we do is right, we need to right. There is a calendar we have to use it. There is a drop down that we should handle it. Okay, then list box, right, that we should handle it. And then what we do is right, calendar we should do and submit button. That's it. Okay, so right, we have to handle all these things. For that we need to write the reusable code. Okay, so as of now we are concentrating only on this. First, as I told you, I need to scroll down to book an appointment. For that we need JavaScript executor reusable method. So this I need to extend the right web driver here. For that I need to extend the library class here. I use extends keyword and extends the library class from the library class which we created there, the web driver which we launched. Okay. Now what I'll do is, all right, I'll add a method here. Okay, I use this interface JavaScript executor interfaces. Through JavaScript executor interfaces, we can scroll up, down, right? We can enter some value, upload a file, right? All these actions can be done with the help of JavaScript executor. So I'm doing a downcasting here. I'm using JavaScript executor. I create an object equal to JavaScript executor driver. Okay, I'm using a downcasting here. Then I use JS dot execute script. Then I need to scroll down to a particular place, right? I'll book an appointment, right? I'm using arguments of 0. Okay, then scroll down to view and true, and then give web driver the web element and the element, right? What element I want to go and view. Okay, there I'll give element here. Okay, now I'll close this method. Okay, then what I do is I'll create another method. Okay, what's the next operation I want to do? Enter a value here. First I want to click, right? Public void click. Okay, now right, public void element click. I want to inspect it and click it, right? I'll go element. I first will close it, and then now what we'll do is I'll okay. Now next, what I will add is two methods, and we'll add another method, take screenshot. Yes. Now what I do is right. I wrote text screenshot method. Okay. I use a text screenshot interface and right. This also downcasting, right. I use text screenshot and driver and I given the path of the right PNG file. I'll rename it book an appointment. I'll rename it book an appointment. Okay, and I'll use get screenshot method to take the output, capture the output type as file, and I'll store it in an image. Then I'll copy from the source to the destination. These are all basic things of right Selenium. Okay, so all these things are different methods. Right, the reusable methods. These are simple methods. We can use try catch. Right, we can use exception handlings. I didn't do commenting for a basics. I'll do commenting. I'll comment the method for a formal process. Clicks the element. Okay, next one is takes the screenshot. Okay, so this all these things are the useful methods. We directly go to pages now. Okay, and now I'll extend the library class here. So I'll use the WebDriver methods, right? WebDriver which I created in the library class here. Okay, now what I do is I'll first create a constructor here for initializing the page factory elements. Okay, so first I'll create a constructor here, parameterized constructor I'll create. This is for initializing the elements in the page object model with the help of page factory. This driver, I'm using this keyword to tell that this is for the current object class, right? This belongs to this class. For that, I'm using this dot driver equal to driver. Okay, so this right, this variable is for representing this book appointment page. Okay, so I added these two dependencies, Avant stack extend report and the the next one is extend report cucumber 5 adapter in the pom.xml. I did update the Maven project. 1 minute, let me update. This one is for report generation, right? This grasshopper and this one extend report adapter is for report generation. It's a test engine framework, right where it is grasshopper adapter is for extend report. It is used to integrate the extend report into grasshopper test automation framework to get a detailed report. That is why we are going for that report. That is an adapter, which is used to generate a detailed report, test report. Now let's generate the report feature file steps here. Yeah, I've generated steps here. What I do is I'll copy the steps. Okay, I'll copy the steps and I'll paste the step definitions and I'll paste it and I'll extend the library class here and I'll remove the garbage steps and I'll import the packages given when Gherkin keyword packages. I'll do import it and I'll extend the library class. Okay, I'll remove the unwanted garbage steps there. Okay, so now what have done is I've generated steps here. We are going to call the methods from the pages. Okay, so what we do is I'll go here. So there are some getters and we have used in pages, right, that we are going to call now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just extending the reusable class now. Then in this step definition which we created. Now what I do is first I need to launch the code. Okay, for that I'll create an object. Okay, browser launch. Okay, I'll first call the method browser launch, then user clicks. I'll call the getter method now. Okay, okay, new driver. Okay, so I created new driver now. Okay, I get a new driver. Okay, now that if you go and see book appointment, right, you have to go and click b dot click. Now we have called the user, right, element dot click. Okay, and then we put the b dot get book appointment. Okay, so what I did is for your reference, right? We already created the useful methods, right? Element dot click. I'm calling this method now. Okay, so here what I do is I create an object. I create an object b equal to new book appointment page. Then element click is a click method which is in the reusable. B dot get appointment book appointment. Book appointment means the getter we have set it here, right? So where get book appointment. Okay, this getter I'm using it here. Understand? Any doubt? Okay, now what we do is now I'll go here. Then I'll call this book appointment with Apollo doctor. Same thing I'm going to do. Element click b dot get book appointment doctor Apollo doctor. Okay. Now next same thing I'm going to call the select city now. Okay. So first we need to handle the window, right? If you go and see, right, this is going to switch a window, right? For that I'm going to use that method window. You understand, right? I need to go and click the book appointment. It's going to new window. I need to handle this one. Okay. So first I went here, click book appointment. Now I'm going to handle the window. So that I'm going to use the window method, reuse method, which I created the reuse component. Okay. Now what we should do is we should select a location. We should give a send keys here. Okay. Okay. We have to enter location here. Okay, then we have to select a date here, then we have to select a city here. Okay, so now what I should do is I have to go to the method which I created the reusable. Okay, I need to enter keys, send keys, right? How to create one method here? So enter text or value text. Okay, I'll create a method. Then the element, send a string and a value here. Okay, now again enter text. And this one is selecting date, right? You have to click it. Element click, B dot, get calendar. Okay, then again we have to select the date, right? You have to click the calendar, then you have to click the date. First, what you should do is, right, we have to go there and click the first operation is click, then the second operation is selecting a date. So two clicks you should do it. Understood? Right? So for that, first you have to click that particular thing, then you have to select the date. So two clicks we have to do. For that, I'm writing a code now. Then it be the get specialty. Then the specialty. Okay. Now we have to call the take screenshot method here. We have to throw the exception here. Okay. Now what we do is we have to click the submit button, click click element, click and the element. We dot submit. Okay. Now what we do is right close the browser, private dot quit. Okay. So now we have called the step definitions now. What we should do is we have the pages here, we have the step definition here, we have the runner here, we'll add the hooks here. First we'll run it, then we'll add the hooks in the next step. Okay. We'll go to run the class now, then we'll run it. First we'll join it, we'll run that join it framework. So it's going to do one by one step. So this is a BDD way. You see it's launched the browser. Then it went and is going to scroll down and click the book appointment. It maximized the browser. Now it went and now click the book appointment. Adding an explicit weight is the right way to do it. And right now we'll have a thread.c. We're adding all the exceptions here. One minute. I think it's not scrolled down to the particular. I think just 2 minutes. I'm just checking. Now it's click. It went the new window. Now it's going to take book appointment with Apollo doctors. I think it's click. 1 minute loading. Now it entered Chennai. Find the doctor. It entered Chennai. Now it needs to